Hello, I'm Leonard. Um, it is commonly said that the most accurate and true indicator of the level of civilization and humanity in any society is the conditions in the prisons of that society. By using the actual conditions at the ACI to determine the level of civilization and humanity of the citizens of the state of Rhode Island and the Providence Plantation, one may reasonably reach the conclusion that we, the citizens of this state, are a bunch of sadistic barbarians. I am sure that many who hear me say that will disagree with that characterization and will probably be offended by being described as a bunch of sadistic barbarians. So I ask you now, as I asked in this book, right, that I published about the conditions in the ACI while I was unlawfully imprisoned there. What do you call a group of people who intentionally subject their prisoners to what federal courts and the Constitution have found to be cruel and unusual punishment? The law uses that term, cruel and unusual punishment, to euphemize, to sugarcoat the fact that what they are talking about is torture at the ACI. I thought it was appropriate, the right thing to do, to dedicate this book to Mr. Eugene Sousa and Gina Raimondo. We all know plenty about Gina, so I'm going to take this opportunity to introduce you to the story of Eugene Sousa. He was subject to cruel and unusual punishment at ACI. He was, in fact, tortured to death. From the dedication of this book, I want to read a short introduction. Eugene Sousa was sentenced to serve 10 years imprisonment at the ACI, beginning on November 4, 1983. He was subject to cruel and unusual punishment there and died on January 18, 1989 as a direct and proximate result of the medical staff's deliberate indifference to his serious medical needs. He was tortured to death. From the end of November of 1988, he developed a bloated belly that was noticeable even under his clothes, and he complained daily of belly pain. He vomited frequently. He suffered from appendicitis for at least 2 and more likely 6 weeks before it killed him. His symptoms had to be noticeable on January 13th during an exam performed by the ACI's physician. At that time, Mr. Sousa was ashy-colored, he had a high fever, distended abdomen, no appetite, and severe pain. The physicians prescribed a muscle relaxant and allowed him to continue taking laxatives. Mr. Sousa was rushed to King County Memorial Hospital on January 18th and died that same day from a perforated viscous and peritonitis with septic shock. Timely and appropriate diagnosis and treatment would have prevented his death. The medical personnel involved argued they had done no wrong. The memory of Mr. Eugene Sousa, and especially the manner of his death, should forever remind us why the iron curtain that has been illegally drawn between the Constitution and the ACI in Rhode Island must be removed immediately and permanently. So you see, The threat to the health, safety, and well-being of prisoners at the ACI is not a problem that was created by today's COVID-19 crisis. This is a problem and a threat that was recognized and identified by Chief U.S. District Judge Raymond Patine 43 years ago. I invite and I urge everybody to read the opinion written and filed by Judge Patine in the case called Parmigiano versus Garrahy. The site for that case is 443 Federal Supplement, page number 956, wherein the judge provides a detailed explanation of conditions inside the ACI which subject prisoners to cruel and unusual punishment on a daily basis. Remember, cruel and unusual punishment is just another word for torture. So I ask you again, how do you describe, or what words do you use to describe a group of citizens who, by their silence, condone, approve of, and facilitate the ongoing torture of fellow citizens in prisons at the ACI? In 1977, Judge Patine found conditions in the old maximum security building to be, in his words, and I quote, irremediably obnoxious to constitutional standards, close quote, which meant it cannot be fixed. And he recognized and acted upon that reality, that the irremediably obnoxious to constitutional standards. He held that Max is unfit for human habitation and therefore it must be closed. It must no longer be used to house prisoners. The original parts of Max were built by Buffalo soldiers who came to Rhode Island from Texas at the conclusion of this country's Civil War. It is ironic that African American men built the structure that is now used to imprison and to torture a group of people who are disproportionately people of color. Judge Patine made it clear in his 1977 opinion, and remains true today, that conditions in Max cannot be made to meet public health standards. I was in Max in 1977, and again from 2013 to 2019. And I was so shocked, outraged, stunned, and hurt by the conditions in Max today that I wanted the world to know about what's going on, about the ongoing torture of human beings in the prison system of the state of Rhode Island, which is not yet abandoned its punitive, inhumane, sadistic, barbarian plantation mentality. In 1977, Judge Patine cited the presence of mold in Max as one of many factors that made it hazardous to the health of every person who enters the building. While many prisoners in Max suffer from exposure to mold, the locally televised news reports kept us informed about the closing of many places where and when mold was found to be present. Places like classrooms in Providence Central High School, the Dr. E.A. Rickey Middle School in North Providence, and the Providence Police Department's BIN inspection station on Ernest Street, which has been demolished for no reason other than it was found to be contaminated with mold. Mold is classified as being a toxic substance which is known to be harmful to human health. So how is it at the ACI that if when a prisoner refuses to occupy a cell that is undeniably and obviously contaminated with mold, that the prisoner is placed on disciplinary report and immediately put in the hole, solitary confinement? I think the better question is, how is it that we the people, by our silence, have allowed our public and elected officials to house our fellow citizens in a building for 43 years and counting, knowing it to be hazardous to their health? We must make our silence a thing of the past if we intend to make torture at the ACI a thing of the past. I have much more to say.
That's right. For the end for the end
I have much more to say than I can squeeze into the few minutes that I have to speak to you now. As we the people push toward decarcerating, divesting, dismantling today's prison industrial complex and new Jim Crow in order to create a more equitable, humane, and just society, we need to act to defund the RIDOC which has a total budget of $266 million, which works out to $137,000 per correctional officer, and which includes $20 million for overtime pay for correctional officers. In order to receive more information about this and other public matters which require our attention, I urge you all to text response 94502 and to visit their table over there before you leave this area today. I had intended on playing some live music for y'all today, but with the threat of rain, I was scared like to bring my keyboard out, right? So what we're going to do is give you a little taste of it by something I recorded on my cell phone.
Of the organization. Today's slave on the powerless plantation. Verification of today's regressive stagnation and explanation just for your information. The documentation for your elucidation. Denaturalization by intentional wrongful incarceration. Systematization of the organization for the subordination of the slave prison on the powerless plantation. Digitalization of the imagination. Stimulation to heightened sensations. Discrimination without negotiation. Conceptualization, feeling, and anticipation. Derogation without investigation. Implementation of retardation. Exaggeration and obfuscation. Vindication by deprivation.
Compartmentalization of globalization. Annotations of this racist nation. Pacification of oppressed populations. Subordination by participation. Multiplication of communications. Devastation brought by assimilation. Deformation and abdication. Procrastination without hesitation. Indoctrination by hateful proclamations from the highest places in this racist nation. Elucidations of Trump's highest expectations. All good people on both sides of the equation. Criminalization of all non-white immigration. With fixed destinations for certain populations. Subordination of enslaved prisoners on the plantation. Systematization of the organization. For denaturalization by intentional wrongful incarceration. For documentation for your elucidation. Explanation just for your information. Verification of today's regressive stagnation. Perpetualization and humanization. Many remain enslaved today on the powerless plantation. Perpetualization of humanization. Many remain enslaved today on the powerless plantation. Perpetualization of humanization. Many remain enslaved today on the powerless plantation. Perpetualization of humanization. Many remain enslaved today on the powerless plantation. Perpetualization of humanization.